Hello 10A. So today, now that you've completed your PowerPoint presentation, you've completed your research, you've completed your plan, and you know what you're going to be talking about for your presentation, it's time to practice. And practice obviously makes perfect. So I'm going to put you into some groups. I'm going to explain the entire activity just to start you off. And you actually have the next two classes, so your two 45-minute sessions to complete this group activity. Please take it really, really seriously. Don't waste your time. It's the only opportunity we have to practice for you to get feedback from your classmates, which means that you can make some changes and improve your presentation, and that will mean that you get a better score for your final presentation. So you will need one laptop to share. So you only need one laptop in your group. You'll be put into groups of 3, and there is one group of 4. So the one laptop to share, so you need to have your PowerPoint on a USB. So make sure you've got your PowerPoint on a USB so that you can use that one laptop to do your presentation. This just means that we have less things on our table and will make it easier for you to share your presentation in your group. You'll be required to sit in your groups. So when I tell you which group you are in, please stand up. Again, please take everything off your desk. This is a group activity. Remember that when we do teamwork, we put all of our things on our desks to the back of the classroom. So please, if you want to pause this video, take all of the paperwork and books and anything else you have on your desk and take them to the back of the room. We need some space so that we can concentrate on this activity. Please press pause and do that first. Now that you've cleaned up your space, you will also need your peer assessment document. I'm going to show you that right now. So please make sure that your teacher has given you this peer assessment document. You only need one per person. So this is the peer assessment sheet. You'll be completing this on the day of the actual assessments themselves. So this is some practice for you. So for each person, you need to listen to the person and mark Y for yes or N for no. So you can see over here, we've got enough space for 1, 2, 3 answers. So up here, you might just want to put a D if you're listening to Dixon, a E if you're listening to Evelyn, or a J if you're listening to Jasmine. And then down here, you can mark yes or no to the questions. So the questions are, is the aim of the presentation clear? So do you know what animal they're talking about? And have they mentioned that we're talking about an endangered animal? Was it clear that they did their research? And was there enough information on the topic? Was it organised clearly? Did the structure make sense? Did the speaker show that they understood their animal? So did it seem like the speaker knew everything there was to know about their animal? Did they speak loud enough? Could you hear and understand them, or did they mumble? Was the content interesting? When you were looking at the PowerPoint presentation and listening to the speaker, were you interested in the animal they were discussing? Did they use videos or pictures or anecdotes to make it interesting for you? Did the speaker make eye contact with you, the audience? Was the pronunciation clear? So when they said the scientific name, could you understand what they said? It's important that before the presentation that you practice the vocabulary so that you can say it correctly. Was grammar and vocabulary adequate? Did they use a range of vocabulary? Did they use visual aids like pictures or graphs? Were they able to ask some good questions to the audience? Now, I only expect one question for this group activity. We don't need to do the full 5 minutes. Just 1 minute is absolutely fine, just to give you some practice at answering questions from your audience. At the end of the speech, I would like the other 2 or 3 people that listened to give feedback to the person. Giving feedback is not rude, it's actually very helpful. So if you're going to give feedback, you can use these kind of words. You should. You had better. I suggest you to. Why don't you? If I were you, I would. I'd recommend, or I think. So the things that you could suggest for the speaker is that maybe you could say that their PowerPoint is too busy. There are too many words on the PowerPoint and they should limit that. Or there's not enough pictures. You might say that you were interested in finding a little bit more about the family of this animal and would like them to include that information. You might say that they were very boring because of their tone of voice, that they didn't use a range of tones to show that, to differentiate between areas. You might say that it was organised in a bit of a complicated way and that maybe they need to organise in a little bit simpler way. All of this will be very helpful to the speaker. The speaker must remember the following. Make eye contact with the audience. Do not read off the PowerPoint or a paper. You need to know your information. When you are recording these next week, and when I look at them to mark you, I will be marking whether you know the information or whether you've looked at the paper. If you are reading, you will not get a good mark. Speak loud enough for the audience. Use a range of tone. Use a range of vocabulary. Use good body language. Need to appear confident and ask for questions at the end. So here are the groups. I hope they're okay. We have to learn to work with each other, even if we're not great friends. So we're going to have to live with this. Unfortunately, I'm not there, so I can't make changes to this. So these are the groups. I don't want you swapping and changing. I want you in these groups. So in group 1, we have Michelle, Krause, Lucy, and Dixon. Michelle, you will speak first. Krause, Lucy, and Dixon, you will be giving feedback. Once we've finished, then you move on to Krause, then Lucy, then Dixon. Group 2, we have Jasmine, Solomon, and Cherry. Group 3, Barry, Amy, and Han. Oh, sorry, I've done group 3 twice. The next group is Frank, Gail, and Charles. The next group is Becky, Blaine, and Cindy. The next group is Tony, Evelyn, and Sam. And the final group is Jerry, Maggie, and Tracy. So, as I said, I need you to go into these little groups with one laptop and your PowerPoints so that you can start presenting to each other and giving each other feedback. After the activity, consider the feedback from your audience. I want you to make changes to your PowerPoint and make changes to your speech. Finally, you need to send your final PowerPoint to Fiona, send it through to me so that I can review. That's all for this class. So as I said, you'll have this class and the following class to present to each other and give feedback. As I said, please take this really, really seriously. It's an opportunity for you to improve so that you get a really good mark for level 1 for assessment event 2. Thank you. As usual, I'm available on WeChat if you have any questions or need any clarification. I will see you in the next class.